Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali kulli wa sahbihi kulli ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome to another session of exploring Quranic wisdom together in the month of Ramadan. That's perhaps the best thing to do. Alhamdulillah, we have been blessed with this throughout the Ramadan. And we have, alhamdulillah, discovered many gold and diamonds from the verses that we studied. And we, yesterday and the day before, were reflecting on verses related to the continuous, constant creation, to understand the connection between the creator and creation, and to see the sign of creator through his dynamic acts or works in the universe or in what we observe, physical or personal life. And we are going to continue on this. So yesterday we reflect on 3 verses, and those 3 verses essentially emphasize that creator that Quran speaks about is not the creator who created the universe, set the system, laws, and then let everything to run by itself. The Quran speaks about the creator who is actively involved in everything, every moment. He's the creator of everything, small, big, part, whole, event, object, laws, forces, everything are just his way of creating or doing some things. So in this regard, the Quran will use khalaqa or ja'ala, and ja'ala is also, from our perspective, it's look as if it's an arrangement, but from God's perspective, it's an act of creation as well. So in this regard, that for us to know the creator, that we have to see the creation. We have to reflect on the dynamic aspect of creation. And in this regard, the Quran will emphasize, we reflect on yesterday when it says that وَعَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٌ, or when it says that وَخَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. So we said this is كُلِّ شَيء is one of commonly use a phrase in Quran referring that everything without exception, that his work is his creation. He is the Khaliq of kulli shay. So in this regard, that it's basically Quran linked to dynamic creation or khalaqiyya, to the rububiyya, and to the ubudiyya. In a way, as we see the creation and reflect how everything is being sustained through the dynamic creation, then we conclude that basically we need to submit to him. We need to rely on him. We need to go to him for everything that we want and everything that we need. So in this regard, that Islam or becoming Muslim is submitting to him. And submitting means to acknowledge and understand that our dependency on him. And particularly we reflect on the ayats as well, awwalu wal akhiru wal dhahiru wal batin. And the way we understand this ayah, saying that this ayah is telling us the creator is the one in charge of the beginning of everything. He's the one bringing the end or the fruit to all the process. He's the one that's running the whole process in the inner world, at the bottom. He's the one that shaped the outer design of the creation as well. So in this regard, that the awwalu wal akhir wal dhahir wal batin can be applied to everything, every objects, every event, because everything has a beginning, has a start, and has an end. And there's the whole process in between. And there's the process in a way you look something's inner, and something outer. So in this regard, أول الآخر الظاهر الباطن, essentially encompassing the entire creation with its entire process at every stage. And that's in this regard that how Quran speaks of the Creator who is with us, who is in charge of everything, is control of everything. When we say thing, we're not talking about an objects only, it's the event as well. That's event of life or our life or social event. That's also under his control. So to look at such a, to look at the, such connection between the creation and creator change everything for us and give completely different meaning to everything that we experience. So that was our point. So, and I think that in a way, what we have done is from day one of the program until now, a kind of helping us to see the sign and to see this connection as is very eloquently and concisely mentioned in these verses. So we're going to continue on our journey today. We're going to focus more on other dimension of the Quran because we're looking at the Quran as a comprehensive book with various aspects. So we cover, I think, 7 aspects so far. So we have in total 11 different categories. So we're going to cover others with a very quick examples. And then we'll go through and give you the full picture to just see how we're supposed to perceive the Quran in its totality in a holistic way. So let's start, inshallah, Dr. Ali.
Thank you. When you say kulli shay, everything, the point we have to pay attention is what do we understand from everything, thing. Now, the thing in Arabic is shay'un. Shay'un, kulli shay'in in this context of the grammar. Shay'un. Shay'un originates from sha'eh. Everybody is aware that insha'Allah, insha'eh Allahu, in fact, but what, of course, liaison is the Arabic principle of reading the sentence altogether, insha'Allah, but sha'eh. We said God willing. Now, the concept of shay in the Quran, anything I can see in this world is the result of willing of the Creator. Sha'a, in the language of the Quran. So the concept goes or has another aspect that you, Dr. Najati, emphasized on the side that space-wise, nothing excluded in the universe. But if we understand that the word shay is the will of God, every moment of existence is also the will of God. So we, as some people, philosophers said, space-time, and there is no independent space, there is no independent time at all, but only creation process continues. When the creation realized, we see that moment, and that moment is the shay, as God willed. It is beautiful because there is no independent, here is space and here is time. There is no such thing. There is one event. The will of God is executed. That's it. Will of God is executed every moment. In our memory, we remember yesterday. Otherwise, every moment we see nothing but in the universe was a shay, which is willed up by its creator. So that's I wanted to
I want to say
I,
mashallah, but even that's also linked to shay, right?
yeah. So it is beautiful to see the root of the verb, any word, and definitely it has different meaning in its location, in its formation, morphology, but still the meaning is attached to the root meaning. So some Arabic linguistic experts emphasize that none of the form of the word can be completely different from its original triliteral verb, sha'e, for example. So, shin, ya, elif. Here, we should bear in mind that every moment, every moment, every single being is a shay. Tomorrow, the same thing we see, it is another shay, shay. It means thing, another thing. For example, let's say 10 years ago, the universe was another shay. Now it is another thing. When you give it from our perspective time dimension, so they understood we have to uh, evaluate everything in space time. It means as I see it existing in front of me. That every single being, it is beautiful. Anyways, maybe I couldn't really express it well.
No, I think it was I really think it was an excellent way of connecting shay and inshallah, mashallah. That's I think it's to
Masha'a again.
mashallah,
Ya
right?
Allah.
Yeah, right. So it's really that's why I say the Arabic language is very tawheedi language. It's really linking to everything to the creator by its very structure wording. So I think it's to really in this regard, it makes perfect sense because for him, ilm, irada, and qudra are some things work together. You cannot separate that. You cannot say, oh, because I saw even some in WhatsApp groups, some will say, oh, God made plans and then execute. So it's actually, there is no planning and execution. There's no separation as he wills. Kun fayakun. So it's really amazing when you look at as we understand how the infinite power works with infinite knowledge and the will. And I think it's like this irada, ilm, qudra should be understood together in a very, a concise manner, I guess.
So the best way of, I was also thinking, the best way of translating or understanding the Quranic language shay thing is we have to say it is consciously willed thing. Not happened to be there, consciously willed. If it wasn't willed by its creator, it would not exist by itself. Impossible. It has no power to bring itself into existence. Okay, I think we will move on. Beautiful
No, I was
point.
thinking about our program. I was saying, Alhamdulillah, that means our program was part of the divine will, therefore it existed now. So even what we're doing now we can actually directly link to his will that's manifested through us. Uh, Your mic is muted.
That is not accident, right? It is willed, programmed,
Alhamdulillah.
designed.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, okay, we will see order as well. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are moving to another definition of the Quran. Another definition of the Quran is happiness guide for this world and the hereafter together. That is important. Happiness together. Unfortunately, some, not everyone, some Muslim population, without realizing, uh, claims that Muslims have to suffer in this world, believers have to suffer in this world so that they will be rewarded in the hereafter. But non-believers will be happy and enjoy life in this world, in the hereafter. Why? As if recompensation. You enjoy it yourself in the life, and that's it. That's your share. Finished now. There is nothing in the hereafter. That is not the view of the Quran at all. If somebody is not happy with the creation presented to him by his creator, it is the word, this word, how can he deserve to be happy in the hereafter? He is not happy with his God here. That's what we have to understand, and we will study this ayah as well, and bear in mind that, for example, you have a teacher, you are not happy with his teaching. You think that he is teaching trash, not really correct information. And you will be happy after graduation with this professor? What do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah, unless you love the professor and learn what he teaches and be happy with him, after graduation, you keep remembering him. That is our reality. But there is the fine point that which is confusing for some people who may not really precisely thinking about the reality of creation. They say the believers are mostly subject to some disasters and warnings of God. Yeah. Now, uh, as far as I know, Dr. Najati, you are a professor in a university and teaching. If you are teaching a subject which needs careful attention so that they will understand, and if you are really pinpointing a very delicate point, do you speak and will you address the one sitting at the back and play or messaging in his telephone? Be careful with this point. Or do you would you draw the attention of the person who is carefully listening to you, but you feel that he may miss the point? Did you see it? Did you see what I said, this sentence? So for the believers, they are ready to take notice of what Allah creates and uh, guides them by warning, by rewarding. So Allah, the Creator, specifically treats the believers because if He gives a warning, on the believers are the people who are going to pay attention to it. Then when the Muslims, believers, I would say believers, when the believers may not be consistent in their life with their belief, God warns them. You are doing something contrary to your belief. You claim that you are believing in the Quran, you are not studying the Quran. You claim that you are a Muslim and Muslims, and you claim that the Quran is word of God, and you don't pay attention to it. Now, do you think God is going to warn those people who have nothing to do with the Quran? Or those people who are aware of the value of the Quran, but not appreciating as it deserves to be appreciated? That is why believers are warned to be consistent with their belief. It seems to be lots of tragedies are happening to Muslims. God is warning them what they have not been doing, but in fact they should have been doing. Be careful. Be careful. You are not appreciating the message. I trusted in you, and you are not representing it perfectly. So you are not really letting the people know that the religion, God's religion, Allah's religion, Islam, is the best way of life. You are not doing that. You are being a kind of, how do you say, veil to the reality of the teachings of the Quran. Be careful. You are harming my religion. And the people look at your life, the way you live, and you don't give value, you don't attach value to the Quran. Why should they value to the why should they value the Quran, since you people ignore the Quran, the value of, you don't study the Quran? Do you think the Muslim world are really busy with studying the Quran? The best memorize it, the best read it for tabarruk, for blessing. In general, I'm speaking, of course, there are many exceptions to this, and that is why the believers are warned mostly. It doesn't mean that this world is a prison, is a dungeon for believers. We have to be very careful about it, and here the ayah will give us a guidance here. Shall we go, or we?
Yeah, I think there's just one point, let's say, before we go to the I think this is very essential. We highlight a little before as well, because there's understanding as if this, the dunya is just a place of tests. You're gonna have a struggle. Don't seek happiness. Just be patient. You're gonna be happy in Jannah. But I think the ayah is not saying that, if we really read it. So that's for, let's pay attention to see what the ayah is really telling us in terms of the happiness in this world and the hereafter, inshallah.
There was a taxi driver, and he works. Well, this system is like this. There are a typical certain type of taxi license works only in Manhattan, so in the central New York. It's the most crowded place and most expensive place. And he told us that you think that the people are happy here? Come and ask us, the taxi drivers. After 11 o'clock, we carry drunken people. Why do they drink if they are happy? Why do they dump their mind? For example, he said, although that time he must be a lady, expensive dress, happy. So he was saying, good night, and happy, smiling. as soon as they do this, they do this, and the taxi got into my car. As soon as we moved away from it, she started crying with tears coming down. Couldn't speak even where to go. Happiness is what we see. Their mind, their heart, their feeling cannot be happy if they don't submit their existence to an eternal absolute being. These are just on the surface. They have money. Yeah. Do you think money is the source of happiness? Your heart? Hmm? Your heart? Your feelings? You are going to lose all of them soon. How can you be happy? You are going to become a compost. How can you be happy soon? Yeah, everything is transient, meaningless, purposeless. The feeling, or read the philosophers who don't believe in God. Read their life. Read their life. You cannot find one happy philosopher who's not believing in God. Happy in this world. Complain, meaningless, complain. Anyways, we have to understand that if we ourselves, out of our misunderstanding, those people who have beautiful houses and very expensive cars in the parking spot of their houses, maybe beautiful garden, they are happy in their life. Go and see inside. Go and see his own. One of the famous public speaker in America, Muslim, mashallah, he is doing a very good service to Islam, mashallah. So he said, one day a very rich family invited me to his house. It's a really luxurious house, Muslim. And the lady of the house having a dinner, expensive, everything is expensive, really, not exaggeration, he told. And he said, well, I don't want to mention the name, let's say Dr. Najati. Dr. Najati. I mean, I love this guy, man, this Da'i, Numan Ali. The Ustad Numan Ali, women, in a cry, and as if she is going to cry. I don't want to leave this house. And he was so sorry for her. It was so difficult for her to imagine, although he was a Muslim, she is a Muslim. Imagine she's going to die and leave the house behind. You see, who's happy? Who's happy? This famous Greek philosopher, Alexander the king, that emperor, came and asked, I am the emperor. And people are talking about you. The person is living in a, I don't know, by this is, so people know this philosopher. And he said, the emperor said, um, you seem to be a wise man everywhere. Everybody is talking about you. I came to you now, please. Now, ask me what you want. Why do you live in this place? It's not a house even. It maybe, I mean, just a shanty town place, covered from the cold, maybe. And he looked at the emperor, the famous saying, don't uh, don't live between and my son, the sun. Don't make shade on me. Go away. Do you understand? He's happy, but in his happiness, in his heart. But the emperor thinks that the house will make him happy. We have to understand this contradiction. Apparently, they seem to be enjoying. You know, when the American armies went to Iraq and destroyed there almost, not that almost, I've seen Iraq after the war, it's really destroyed. So I was very sorry. Anyways, and the soldiers came back from Iraq. And one of them was living just on the other side of our house. At night, uh, 2 p.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., he was going out shouting and crazy. We didn't know what was wrong with this man. Later on, we learned that he was a soldier in the army in Iraq, maybe killed some innocent people. Yeah, consciousness cannot be stopped. I spoke a lot about this subject. Confusion, about confusion. Okay. We have to be very careful. Happiness is not having some money in your bank account. It is just a number there. Bismillah.
من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة ولنجزينهم أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون.
It is not a joke. It is not a joke. We have to understand this word. فَلَنَحْيِيَنَّهُمْ. Whenever does God, does whoever does good, sorry, wow, it's an old man without God, cannot read. Whoever does good, whether male or female, as a believer, right? As a believer. Do good as a believer. We talked about it before. We will surely bless them with a happy life. And we will certainly reward them according to the best of their deeds in the hereafter. But فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُمْ. This Arabic word, ahya, hay, the root is hay, ha, ya. Hay, living. But ahya, make living. Haya, how can I say life? Then make alive. Make alive. Hayatan tayyiba. It is difficult, but alhamdulillah, there is a saying quoted here by Nursi explains it. Now, whether male or female, as a believer, we will surely bless them with a happy life. It has two meanings. Ihya means somebody is dead and bringing him in life. Again, it is usually understood, referred to the hereafter. But in this particular ayah, the reference to the hereafter is here. وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. The translation, we will certainly reward them according to the best of their deeds in the hereafter. In this world, we will surely bless them with a happy life in this world. So, I think if we study Dr. Najati, the quote from Nursi will help us understand better. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I
Rather
think so.
than
Yeah, I think that really is the interesting part in this. I don't know, like if we really reflect, as you mentioned, first the conditions that you need to do good deeds, amal salih, and then it says that doesn't matter whether male or female, whoever does that, that's also a special emphasis that in terms of there is no gender difference that I think is really beautiful. And then when the condition, وَهُوَ مُؤْمِن, and that's condition, I think is really essential. We discussed this before. That's because why you're doing that, how you link to the creator is really essential. And then instead of saying فَلَا نَأْتِيَهُمْ, it doesn't say نَأْتِي, it says that, it doesn't say we give it to them. It says we will, it's nahya in a way, we will give life to them as if they're dead. They hold life. Everything's come to the life with this. So in a way, that's basically, it's really, I don't know why it's, I think that's why Nursi's part, when we reflect, you perhaps explain this part very beautifully. And I think the word here, hayatu tayyiba, now the translations, you put it a happy life. In a way, it's not, doesn't say hayat sa'ada. Like sa'ada, they generally use the sa'ada as a happiness. But here, tayyiba, I was reflecting on the say, perhaps the emphasis here, when it says tayyiba means that you are, the opposite of tayyiba is najis, is disgusting, is an ugly, is a bad. So when I really look at, I have seen a lot of life journey, and what I see when life is not connected to the creator, it takes you to a very disgusting path. It's very ugly path. If you really watch the entire journey, you don't desire to be there. So therefore, I thought like Tayyiba here is in a way emphasizing that whatever you have, only if you can see, in a good way, you're going to see it's really clean. It's really, it's a very neat, very envying life. It's not disgusting life. That's what I was really, reflecting in a way. When I, reflect on the life of many individuals that I know in my own lifetime, and I say it's very clear that those who are really taking the wrong path, they have very ugly journey, very disgusting lifestyles. And why you want to really walk in that path? Because they show you only one, let's say, scene from that journey as if they are the happiest. But if you look the whole journey, it's really disgusting. So no one want to be drug users, no one to be alcoholic, and why then you follow this path? So that's what I thought the emphasis there is that hayatu tayyiba is in a way that's really is reminding me that, najis as something disgusting. And I thought I want to really emphasize this part. But the other, I think the word of nuhi, that's I think Nursi put it in a very amazing way, that how the iman and amal salih will breathes a new life to your life, and without which you're dead. I think that is amazing. That's why I really love that, the way he explained this.
Thank you. Inshallah, we will go into the Nursi is saying. I would like to remind our friends here, they may be reading from translations. Some translations say like this: whoever does good, whether male or female, and a believer, and read this wa, and is grammatically, rhetorically, eloquence of the Quran, impossible to read it as end, because according to the spirit of the teaching of the Quran, amal salih can only be salih if it is performed with iman in the absolute being. If you do good deed, then you don't believe in the absolute creator of this event, how can you be happy in this world? I am doing this, but I am going to die and disappear. How can you be? Impossible from every aspect. I don't know how they dare to write a translation, even they don't know the small, uh, very basic Arabic grammar. It cannot be well. It has to be, they call it jumla haliya. That's while they are as a believer, living as a believer, they perform an action according to the requirements of their belief, that a belief what? Being aware that what I am using for my free will to choose is going to be created by the absolute being, and the result will be rewarded by this absolute being. Nothing to do with this world only, extending into eternity, into hereafter. Impossible to read as end, because amalin salih. Salih is the condition. Iman makes the amal salih. Now, we have to understand good. In the Quran, salih, good, as you said, tayyib, najis, it means disgusting thing, opposite is. So salih is batil. Yeah? Batil means no point. We discussed this. Okay, let's go here. If you seek the true joy and pleasure of life, bring your life to life. It means, now we have to understand, we have people, this dualism they say and criticize it. We have to be careful. This is something to do with biology and definition of death, but we have to understand this. We have body and we have life. We have life. We have spirit. Life is related to body. Spirit is related to infinite capacity. When body dysfunctions become dysfunctions, then body is dead. But spirit is nothing to do with body. So that's how can we understand. For example, electric power to the computer is like life. But the program of the computer, no, machine side of the computer, the material side of the computer is body. Electric is life, and program is spirit. Example. Now, when machine is destroyed for some reason, broken, electric doesn't function. So electrical power is taken away. It doesn't mean that program died. That's what the materialist mind cannot understand. Program died. It doesn't mean still program is program. When the machine is repaired, program starts working. Yeah, that's what we have to understand. I always believe and also share with my friends, I am not going to die. Don't think that I am old man. So I'm going, no, my body will lose its electric power. My program is with me still, and we will see in the sky. We will to talk about it. So bring life to life means put as if upload the program in your machine So your machine is working, yes, but without program, what are you going to do with it? Upload the program, which is Iman. Believe in the absolute creator. In this way, beautify it with obligatory acts and worship. So use the program now. Apply the program. Enjoy yourself. This application of the program in the analogy, ibadah. And protect it by staying away from sin, taqwa, which means, again, use the same analogy, don't misuse the program. Now, be careful. Use it as it is expected to be used, program it to be used. Make your life, that is why true joy and pleasure is this. فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً means this, beautifying your life with your good actions and bringing Iman perspective in eternal, infinite life, or the creator of the infinite life, be aware of it so that you will enjoy your life. Otherwise, you will eat and you will live in or drive the best car, whatever, but you know that you are going to die. How can you enjoy, Dr. Najati? You are having a very nice car. So perfect. Maybe this this without a human driver. So you are just sitting in the car. The car is taking care of it. Comfortable. But you are definitely, you are sure that, and somewhere, you don't know where, your on your highway, there will be a cliff. You will fall into it. You don't know where. Okay? How much would you enjoy it? Anytime, you don't know, but definitely will happen. Definitely it will happen. How much you will enjoy your meal, because the car is driving itself. So speaking your whatever friends, how much you enjoy it, you definitely know that you are going to fall into cliff and disappear. Is it possible? But the people see you, this man has the most expensive car, admire you. Look at this man. He's sitting in the car is driving itself, and he's enjoying his meal or speaking with his friends in the car. And apparently, from outside, you are a happy man. But you know that now, tomorrow, next week, next month, the cliff will come. Then you cannot stop it. You have to, definitely. Who can stop death? So Nursi again gives a beautiful example. A man is going to be hanged and taken out of his room in the prison, and his hands are clipped, tied up. And on the way, somebody offers him the best food. Just going to be executed. How much this man will enjoy the best food? Is it possible? Belief is the key. Belief is the key. That's what I have to say. Here is the man. Why does this child cry? Looking at the empty wrap of the chocolate. Chocolate dies. The point is important. Chocolate dies, finishes. But human sense of loving chocolate is still alive. That is why materialist mind cannot understand chocolate, finished. But loving chocolate, the feeling, the sense of loving chocolate is still there. Human beings cannot consist of only body. Impossible. Body dies. Human spirit doesn't die. That's why I say I'm not going to die. My body will die. Human beings are created for eternal satisfaction. No one accepts to perish and become compost in the earth. No one spirit, feelings accept that. Now, here it is. How can this guy be happy? Meaningless, huge universe, but indifferent, meaningless emptiness. Huh? He's thinking definitely. He's a student apparently. I'm going to graduate, excellent, and get a good job. Okay, a kind of part-time slavery, and get money and get married, my children, but meaningless life. No purpose. Right? The void within. It was void. And then I will retire, and of course I'll get pension. All right. I have one of my relatives, a very funny guy. He says, after a certain age, it is better to get a house, buy or rent, depending on your financial situation. When you are young and new family, get a house next to a good school. You are going to educate your child. When you get old, sell this house and get another house close to where? Hospital. Every week you have a visit. but I am retired. I have my income, but my income is going only to the hospital. So that afterwards, what will happen? What will happen afterwards?
Near to graveyard?
Sorry?
Get a house near to graveyard?
Graveyard, yeah. From the hospital, you don't go to the graveyard. They will take you to the graveyard. They say, get rid of this man anymore. We don't want this body. Now, the void within this world. That is what read materialist philosophers. I don't advise reading philosophical books. Don't waste your time. But if you are not satisfied, what the Quran is saying, read philosophers, unbelieving philosophers, see which kind of torture they are living, they are putting themselves in. Incredible. All right, what would you like to say?
Yeah, I think this is, the key part I want to mention here is that how the Iman is going to bring such happiness, such changes, because many people might think, okay, I have Iman, I do good things, but I might be poor, I might have a disease, I might lose my job, so I might have adversity in life. How can I be happy? I think the key part here is that if we look at through the lens of Tawheed, and as we've discussed at the beginning, everything is the will of Allah. And in this case, that whatever, everything that happened to us either is our choice or God's choice for us. So in this regard, that basically what we do, if God is all good, that means whatever He chooses must be good as well. So because it's khayr mutlaq, only the good come from the all good one. The problem that we face, that if we think what I choose is the best, then in this case that when we see what we choose is in contradiction with what God chooses for us, that we start to complain about it. So in a way, Iman shed light on everything and shows that everything is for good reason, is for purpose, either directly or by its consequences. So therefore, the only bad thing is in our choices. As long as we do not choose anything bad, that everything chosen for us is a choice of God. Since He's all good, it must be good. So, and I think this understanding and this level of trust in God's choice make us to be happy, irrelevant of our life condition. As long as we do our part, whatever He determined for us, whether He'd make us to be sick or make us to be poor or make us to fail, we do our part. But He gave us this to us. There must be wisdom behind that, and there must be goodness. And that is the part I think will assure us we are happy, irrelevant of where we are. I mean, we're quoting this from Nursi. He spent 28 years of his life in jail and exile, but then he was extremely content with his life to the level, I remember one letter he wrote it, when someone asked him when he was in jail, how is your life? And he began to thank as if he was in the best place in the world, as if he was living in a palace. He said, those bad guys try to do all bad things to me, but the mercy of Allah turned everything to be good for me. And in a way, he was describing as if the best thing could have happened to him to be in jail. Therefore, God sent him to the jail. So I think if we gain such perspective, then no matter where we are, what we have in life, we can be really happy. That's really what I want to add that, because I thought people might have this question, say, how about if I have this and this, how can I still be happy? I think it's really, I say, if you're not happy, that means there's a problem with your lens. Change that. Look through the Quranic lens, irrelevant of your condition. You should be happy in this world as well as, inshallah, in the akhirah.
Those honest Muslim scholars, you gave the example of Nursi, the latest one, the honest Muslim scholars in Islamic, if you like, a history of intelligent people, intellectual people. They wrote their best books in prison. Not only Nursi wrote a lot in prison. He said, I'm very free here. They take care of my food, whatever I need. So I concentrate. Of course, they were not allowing him even to have papers. The people were smuggling papers while they came to visit him. But they don't bother. They don't bother. He wrote excellent. If you read his writings, he says this book, this section of the book is written in prison, such and such prison, such and such prison. He has been imprisoned on many occasions. So, and read them. They are so precise and beautiful. To me, much better than the other parts. One thing here, we should never forget this. Just spinning rock and dust. It's small, but that is what unbelief makes men feel like. Spinning rock and dust. Okay. Here we go. We don't have much time, but get ready for tomorrow, inshallah. A comprehensive book, the definition of the Quran. We are not going to study today, there's no time, but introduce and get ready for tomorrow. The many functions or genres the Quran encompasses. For example, the Quran is a book. We are now the ninth definition of the book, thought and wisdom. Quran is the book of thought and wisdom. 10th definition, the book of prayer, worship, and invocation, all of them together. And 11th is, we are going to study today, law, the book of Sharia. helping human beings how to connect to their Creator while following His will in their daily practical lives, thus living always in His presence. Now, that is only Sharia gives us the opportunity to live always in His presence, because when we apply the rule that presented to us by our Creator, this rule will remind me, my Creator, who is the absolute Creator, owner of the universe. We will go into each of them, inshallah, tomorrow onwards.
Okay. Yes. I think tomorrow is gonna be our last session for the month of Ramadan. I know some might have Eid tomorrow, and I guess most will have Eid on Friday. Therefore, we decided to have our session tomorrow as well. And meanwhile, we also discussed with Dr. Ali that we're gonna continue, inshallah, after Ramadan, and we will have it once a week on Saturday, 4 p.m. Mecca time, exactly same time as we're doing now. And it will be every Saturday, so which means it's not this coming Saturday, it's the Eid, and the week after, the second Saturday. So inshallah, we will continue our journey as usual. And meanwhile, we're going to post in WhatsApp group a very brief reflection question or request from everyone to see what you have learned so far in terms of something new that you have gained from the Quranic reflection. So I will post it, we'll post this, a brief request that we kindly ask everyone to share what they learn and to see, and that will be good feedback for us as well to see what has been understood, and then that can guide us, inshallah, for the continuation of the journey. So with that, inshallah, let's end it with dua, and then we will have our last session in Ramadan tomorrow and continue after that in week after on Saturday and every Saturday, inshallah.
March 28th.
Yes, March 28th.
Tomorrow?
That would be
first
session after Ramadan.
Yeah. From now, our friends can take notes. So tomorrow we are going to have,
inshallah.
Now, if somebody has Eid tomorrow, in some places may have, and they can, inshallah, watch and listen from the recordings.
Inshallah.
Available, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعوانا إن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone, and see you tomorrow, inshallah.